Your wife hired us 3 months ago. When her boss said those words, my blood ran cold. I was standing in a glass-walled office on the 14th floor of a corporate building, staring at a man I had never met before that morning. I had come there angry, ready to confront him about what I believed was an affair. I left realizing the betrayal was something far more calculated. Let me explain. For months, my wife Hira had been distant, not in the obvious way. No secret smiles at her phone, no sudden gym obsession, no mysterious late-night texts. It was subtler than that. She had become strategic. She started asking strange questions. How much do you think this house would sell for in today's market? If something ever happened to you, do you know where all the paperwork is? Have you updated your insurance beneficiaries recently? At the time, I brushed it off. Married couples talk about finances. Planning is normal, responsible even. But then came the documents. One evening, I came home early and found her laptop open on the dining table. A legal document was on the screen. I didn't mean to snoop, but my name was in bold letters at the top. I stepped closer. It wasn't divorce papers. It was a financial asset separation consultation request, filed 3 months ago. My chest tightened. I didn't confront her immediately. Instead, I memorized the law firm's name at the bottom of the page. The next morning, I took the day off work and walked into their office. The receptionist asked who I was there to see. I gave my wife's name. A few minutes later, a senior partner stepped out, polite but cautious. "I'm her husband," I said. "I need to understand what's going on." He hesitated. Then he said it. "Your wife hired us 3 months ago." My blood ran cold. 3 months. 3 months of dinners together, of weekend trips, of watching movies on the couch, of her telling me she loved me, while quietly preparing to dismantle our entire life. "She retained us to explore her options," he continued carefully. "Asset protection, custody positioning, financial restructuring." Custody positioning. The words echoed in my head. She said she was concerned about financial instability and wanted to ensure long-term security. Financial instability? I paid every bill. Mortgage, utilities, school fees, insurance. I had built everything we had from scratch. "And the divorce?" I asked, my voice steady despite the tremor in my chest. "She hasn't filed yet," he replied. "But she's been preparing." Preparing. That was the word that shattered me. She wasn't reacting emotionally. She wasn't angry. She wasn't hurt. She was planning. For 3 months, she had been collecting bank statements, making copies of tax returns, asking subtle questions about my business accounts, smiling at me across dinner while building a case behind my back. I left the office in a fog. I didn't go home. I went straight to my own lawyer. If she wanted strategy, she would get strategy. Within a week, I learned the full scope of her preparation. She had opened a separate account months ago, quietly transferred small amounts of money, consulted not just one lawyer, but 2, even spoken to a real estate agent about post-divorce housing. And here's the part that hurt most. There was no affair, no dramatic betrayal with another man. This was colder than that. This was calculated exit planning. When I confronted her that night, she didn't deny it. She didn't cry. She sighed. "I was going to tell you when everything was ready," she said calmly. "When what was ready? When I could leave without struggling." Without struggling. So I was the stepping stone, the financial ladder, the stability she needed until she didn't need me anymore. "Why?" I asked. That was the only word I could manage. She looked at me without emotion. "Because I don't feel anything anymore." 15 years, reduced to nothing. But here's what she didn't expect. While she had been preparing quietly, she underestimated one thing. Transparency works both ways. My lawyer moved faster. We documented her financial transfers, her consultations, her intent. In our state, strategic asset hiding before filing can shift outcomes dramatically. By the time she officially filed, I was already 3 steps ahead. The custody positioning she tried to secure, neutralized. The asset protection strategy she built, exposed. The hidden account, documented. The court doesn't like deception when it comes to finances. And slowly, Her calm confidence cracked. For the first time, she realized I wasn't the unaware husband she thought she had outmaneuvered. The divorce finalized 8 months later. Fair, clean, structured, not the financial sweep she had quietly engineered. The day everything ended, she looked tired. Not victorious, not relieved, just smaller somehow. I didn't feel triumph. I felt clarity. When her boss said, "Your wife hired us 3 months ago," I thought my world had ended. But in reality, it was the moment I woke up. Because betrayal isn't always loud. Sometimes it wears a calm face, cooks dinner beside you, and plans your replacement in silence. And sometimes, the coldest betrayals aren't affairs. They're exit strategies.